My name's Marcus Langston. I'm 55 and I should have known better. 27 years married to Claudia, long enough to keep a car, raise a kid, and refinance a mortgage twice. I funded her dream from latte-slinging college grad to white coat, MD, tuition, MCATs, board prep, sleepless rotations, the works. I cooked, I coached, I carried the load. Then came her big day at the San Diego Convention Center. Roses, diplomas, proud parents, the whole postcard. They called her name. Dr. Claudia Langston. I stood, chest out in the navy suit she'd bought me. She took the mic, smiled like a game show winner, and said, clear as a bell, Marcus, I've decided to start a new life without you. Silence. Gasps. A glass broke. In the crowd, Dr. Theo Barrett, the pretty boy neurology resident I'd barbecued with, smirking. I smiled back. Congratulations on your honesty. Then I walked up the steps and handed her a manila envelope. Your graduation present. I left to Miles Davis and sea air. 30 seconds later, her scream punched through the doors. She'd just opened the envelope, what I'd missed, and what I'd found. The warning lights had been there for months. One-word answers, a phone cemented to her hand, passwords changing like socks, study groups every Friday with brand new lipstick. Friends went cagey. I wanted to believe she was tired. Then one night she left her iPad unlocked. The messages were educational, flirty texts, hotel confirmations, voice notes. He has no idea, just a little longer. I'm an IT consultant. I know how to preserve evidence. I screen captured everything and hired James Rivera, a divorce shark who reads bank statements like poetry. We found secret accounts in her maiden name, quiet transfers, $47,000 over months, building an escape, so fund. I installed a discreet office cam. It caught enough FaceTimes and whispers to power a courtroom. We also had a prenup, one most couples forget after year 5. Mine never expired. I'd insisted on a clause that locked it forever. The house. Title? Only mine. Call it foresight. Call it paranoia. Call it the smartest thing I ever did. James built what he called the nuclear option. Adultery, financial misconduct, timelines, affidavits from a retired cop turned PI. While Claudia rehearsed her freedom speech, we froze the accounts and prepped filings, the envelope inside. Divorce petition citing adultery, a bound dossier of the affair, copies of every transfer, PI photos, and the emergency motions already stamped by the court. She wanted spectacle. I gave her closure. By the time I hit the car, my phone lit up. Friends wanted answers. Claudia wanted blood. Theo wanted a conversation. I took his call. What did you do to Claudia? Is neurology still your field, Doc? Because judgment clearly isn't. Click. Fallout in HD Serena. Claudia's oldest friend and the only neutral adult in the blast radius called me that night, breathless. Claudia had promised Theo my Mission Hills house, half my retirement, and a soft landing. He found out, courtesy of frozen accounts and a very real prenup, that he'd actually won a front-row seat to reality. Rent due, utilities bouncing, his leased BMW sniffing repo. He lasted 48 hours, left a note, and bailed. Claudia traded a steady partner for a fair-weather fantasy that couldn't survive a billing cycle. Court day. 3 weeks later, we stepped into Judge Patricia Hernandez's courtroom. Claudia's lawyer, Victoria Sterling, all steel and vowels, opened with a sweeping tale of the devoted wife abandoned at the finish line. James stood, smiled, and quietly disassembled it. Exhibit A, the prenup with the no expiration clause. Exhibit B, bank records documenting hidden transfers. Exhibit C, the affair, hotels, texts, photos, PI affidavit. Judge Hernandez read, frowned, and ruled. The prenuptial agreement is valid and binding. Mrs. Langston's financial misconduct is established. The adultery is well documented. Spousal support is denied. Assets protected by the agreement remain with Mr. Langston. Gavel. Done. Claudia left with exactly what she brought into the marriage, her degree and consequences. The medical grapevine. San Diego's medical world is a small town with scrubs. Within days, Theo's locker room bragging met a chief of internal medicine who spoke to a residency board member who chatted with a chief of staff at Cedars-Sinai. Claudia's dream offer evaporated, pending further review of professionalism. When your brand is judgment, sleeping with a colleague's spouse while siphoning accounts is off-brand. She called around to spin it. People weren't buying. Hospitals like clean hands. What came next for me? I turned the wreckage into a blueprint. Langston Consulting was born, digital forensics plus asset protection for people blindsided by partners who weaponize divorce. I taught clients how to preserve evidence, trace hidden money, and keep a cool head while lawyers do the heavy lifting. The work mattered. One client, David, wrote me a letter I keep folded in my desk. "You didn't just save my finances, you reminded me of my worth." That line lands every time. The view from Luna's Cafe. 6 months later, I drink coffee most mornings at a chipped mug cafe over La Jolla Cove. The dolphins roll in the surf. Tourists point. My phone buzzes with another consult. Suspect's spouse is hiding assets with a business partner. They always do. That's why we're good at this. People ask if I regret the envelope, not for a second. Claudia thought her graduation marked her beginning. Funny thing is, it marked mine. She graduated into a career shadowed by her own choices. I graduated into clarity. I know exactly who I am, what I will protect, and how to help others do the same. In the end, I didn't lose a partner. I recovered myself. And I learned the simplest lesson of all. When someone announces your ending, hand them the truth, walk outside, and start your beginning. HerAsk ChatGPT.